Welcome to the Winning Edge Talks podcast. This is Vishwanath, your host. This is my 106th episode. The title of this episode is Was Anderson Peters in the Zone? On the night of July 24th, when everyone in India was asleep, Neeraj Chopra, the superstar javelin thrower and the Olympic gold medalist, made history by winning India's first silver medal at the World Athletics Championship held at Eugene, Oregon. This medal came after 19 years when Anju Bobby George had won the bronze medal in 2003. The silver medal didn't come easy for Neeraj. He was bothered by a thigh niggle and there was heavy winds blowing from the opposite direction that day. Neeraj fouled his first throw and threw below par in the next two with distances of 82.39 and 86.37 meters. In his fourth throw, there was pressure from Yakub Wadle, who had already thrown 88.09 meters. Any other athlete would have panicked and choked at this stage, unable to bear the pressure. Remember, Neeraj had to live up to his reputation as the Olympic gold medal winner. But a mentally tough Neeraj Chopra that he is, he kept his composure and self-belief and threw to a distance of 88.13 in his fourth throw to win the silver medal for India. This episode is not much about Neeraj Chopra's performance, but of his arch rival Anderson Peters. Their rivalry has been ongoing for several years, but on this day, Anderson Peters was better than Neeraj Chopra. He won the gold medal with throw of 90.54 meters. He threw distances of over 90 meters thrice in this final event. The other two throws of more than 90 meters were 90.21 and 90.46 meters. The sports reporter of Times of India covering this event wrote, "As a strong wind troubled the javelin throwers at Eugene, Neeraj struggled along with the 13 others, but perhaps Anderson Peters was in a bubble. Peter looked in ominous form and he looked effortless in his throwing, as if the wind had conspired against the other 13 to make him win. Anderson has been in the form of his life this year. He has made 5 throws in the excess of 90 meters with his personal best of 93.07 meters. He has surpassed his previous best of 87.31 meters 16 times. Two distinctive words describing Anderson Peters' effort stand out. That Anderson Peters was in a bubble and he was effortless. Today, in this episode, I am going to talk about these two mental states, the bubble and the effortlessness, which are related to a state of peak performance known as the flow. Being in the bubble is also described in similar terms like being in the zone or flow or being in the cocoon of concentration or being in the relaxed concentration state. Researchers have come out with different terms to describe this mystical sensation. Winning a championship, a majors event, a grand slam, or an Olympic gold medal can be special for any athlete. It is even more special if it coincides with their peak performance, the performance of their life. This is a kind of mental state when everything seems to happen with ease, effortlessly. This is what reporter meant when he said Anderson Peters was in the bubble. Being in the bubble or in a zone or in the flow is a dream state which every athlete loves to be in. This state of flow was aptly described by Michael Csikszentmihalyi, an American psychologist and researcher. He is known for his work on the flow state. In the words of Csikszentmihalyi, flow is a state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing seems to matter. The experience is so enjoyable that people will continue to do it even at great cost for sheer sake of doing it. In the flow state, action follows upon action according to an internal logic that seems to need no conscious intervention by the actor. He experiences it as a unified flow from one moment to another, in which he is in control of his actions and in which there is little distinction between the self and the environment, between stimulus and response, or between the past, present and future. Athletes who have experienced the state of flow have come out with some common feelings and experiences that they felt during the peak moment they were in. In those moments of flow, the athletes were relaxed yet could maintain the right arousal required for the situation. Their concentration was at its best and attention was well focused. They felt very much in control of their game and emotions. They were immersed in the activity. They were not concerned about the result or the performance of their opponents. They were enjoying their game. It was like they were in a trance. They had no sense of time. They felt less fatigue or exertion. They were not distracted externally, nor were they bothered by their thoughts or worries. There was a lot of ease and effortlessness in their execution. They felt as if things were happening unconsciously or automatically, as if some unseen hand was directing all their efforts. The activity for them seemed effortless and enjoyable. Though every athlete dreams of getting into the bubble or the zone, it cannot be forced to happen. It has to happen unconsciously. The chances of finding the zone is made possible by working hard, being in the present moment, being fully focused, being mentally and physically relaxed, and not going after the results. No one needs introduction to Rahul Dravid, the ex-Indian cricketer and the present coach of the Indian A cricket team. Once speaking to Sambit Bal in ESPN Cricket Info, when asked by the reporter the question on playing in the zone, Rahul Dravid says, "The best batting happens when a person is batting in the zone. The batsman is in the present moment and unmindful of the state of the match, the condition of the pitch or the previous ball. The mind, energy, hands and eyes are responding to the moment." Rahul describes the zone as a special feeling, a state closest to purity. He adds, however, it is a state you can aspire for but can't consciously create it. And one cannot get into the zone when he is tired and exhausted. Anderson Peters has been working hard. He has been tirelessly trying to make an impact at the international stage. And the results are showing now. For Anderson Peters, being in a good form has made him to believe in himself. On that day when the winds were strong, he didn't bother about the external conditions. He just believed in himself and went ahead and threw the javelin thrice over 90 meters when all other javelin throwers struggled in these adverse conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what form and this mystical sensation called zone is all about. This is Vishwanath for Winning Edge Talks podcast.